Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. I know what you're thinking. So this is still a thing? Yes, it is still a thing. It's been a while, but I'm here on the bench and decided that I'm just going to turn on the camera and start talking. Every time I think about doing a podcast and I start planning out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it and where I'm going to do it and all that, it becomes kind of a whole thing, and then I just kind of don't do it. So tonight I'm just turning on the camera and I'm going to tell you what I'm working on. These here are the U.S. Marines, Vietnam Marines from Rubicon Models. They're pretty cool. I got to tell you, I don't have any need at all for Vietnam miniatures. I'd like to do some 28 millimeter more modern, Cold War and beyond. But I decided to put these together just to see what they're like, and maybe I'll do something with them. I don't know. But I want to talk about the quality, the poses, the sculpts, the scale, a lot of different things. First of all, I don't know if you can tell from looking here, but there's 5 or 6 different body styles and a lot of different arms and a lot of different heads and a lot of different, ways to assemble them. So of all these guys here that I've got done, with the exception of like their backpacks, I don't think there's any two here that are in the same pose. And even though, like I said, they're only based on like 5 or 6 different bodies, they're all in different poses, and they're all very dynamic poses, and they all look really cool. The sculpting on these is really good. Some of the best I've seen. There's details that you rarely see, and you probably wouldn't even notice. But I was putting one together a minute ago, and I noticed on his neck the Adam's apple. It's just a tiny little detail that you probably don't see on miniatures often or ever, and they did it on these. They've got cool weapons. They've got M16s, of course. There's an M14, M60 machine guns, M203 grenade launchers. Where is it? I don't know if I've done one yet. There is one of those. This little guy, I forget the number. It's just a 40 millimeter grenade launcher. I don't know what the M number is on that. But yeah, so a lot of cool weapons. This guy's got the radio backpack with the telephone up to his face. There's another backpack that has the phone like hung up on the backpack, so that's kind of cool too. This one, they actually took it off so that it makes sense that he's holding it and it's not also attached to the backpack. As far as scale on these guys go, Rubicon is very proud of the fact that they do pure 156 scale miniatures, and a lot of other companies don't really care that much about scale, and their miniatures get bigger and bigger and bigger over time and end up looking, I don't know, like this guy here looks like he's about 7 feet tall. So what Rubicon did with these is, I think they upscaled just a little, and I don't think on the height. I think on the thickness of the arms and the legs and the torsos. They've chunked them up a little bit so that they look better with other miniatures while still being pretty damn scale. So I think they made a little bit of a compromise there, even though in the past all of their figures have been pure 156 scale right on, and they look beautiful, but they don't necessarily go well. They don't necessarily play well with others, and these do. These will look really good with other brands. So what else to say about them? I mean, just the poses. Some of these, this guy throwing a grenade while kind of running. This dude with his helmet off, he's carrying it. Like I showed you, the guy with the radio. Just the standing dudes. They just look cool. Another guy kind of moving forward. Guy down on his knee. These guys I haven't done yet. I guess the only complaint I would have about this whole kit probably is that there's 5 or 6 sprues. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 sprues that are all the same, and then there's this special F sprue, which has a lot of like the command options and cool radio backpacks, and it had an M60 machine gun or two. I wish there was a couple of these, or if these were available separately, because I used up the M60s immediately. I think there's only 2 or 3, and maybe that's enough, but when I was in the Army, that was my weapon. So I guess I kind of think it's cool, and I want to do more guys with M60s. Now, if I was playing a game, I don't know if I would field that many dudes with M60s, but I think they're cool. So, you know, maybe just one more of these would have been really cool, because there's a lot of different stuff on here that allows you to take these sprues and kind of mix them up a little more. Let's see, we got a guy with a 45 pistol here. There's a guy smoking a cigarette, well, his hand anyways. Guy with binoculars. That's stuff for commanders and kind of special stuff there. So yeah, they're awesome. They've done some new bases. These are pretty similar to the Warlord bases, but they are a little thicker, and that might be on purpose because it gives them a little more height. If you're playing with you know, miniatures from another company, they might match up a little better, I don't know. But they are lipped bases, they're plastic. Rubicon does a series of bases that have all these little dimples and holes in them, or well, just dimples. I don't think they have holes. I've never really quite grasped what that's all about, but I like these. These are cool. I lost one or dropped one or something, so there's a Warlord base on this guy. So yeah, loving them. They're really cool. Something else I wanted to tell you guys while I'm here working on figures. I've been using the model glue from Ammo MIG, or MIG by Ammo by MIG. Sorry. And this is their extra thin cement, which is just like any other model glue, but it works well with styrenes and the ABS, which these are ABS, so you want to make sure your glue is compatible with ABS. So this stuff's been working really good, but they just, I don't know if they just came out with this or if I just noticed, but they also have a plastic medium dense slow dry glue, which is kind of interesting. This is like the viscosity of water, and this is a little more, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but it's a little thicker. And I'm still not sure where I stand on this product. I'm trying it. But I do see an advantage in doing figures with multiple pieces, like a lot of arms and things like that. You can put a drop of this on where the arm goes, and then put the arm on, and you've got a little time to play around with where it's going to go before it starts going off. The only thing I don't like about this, and this could probably be solved by using a different brush or something, is that you tend to get a big, huge stinking drop of it when you're using this brush, and then some of it runs down from here, and then you get more drops. So it's a little hard to get a small amount, but like I said, maybe using a separate tiny little brush would solve that. But I think it's worth trying if you're the type of person that finds that this stuff, the extra thin stuff, is a little too fast for you, getting the arms and the heads and things on. This will give you a little more time, and a little more time to move things around and get them just right, especially when you're putting on an arm that has a gun and then another arm that needs to be grabbing the gun. It gives you some time to get those rearranged. So something you might want to try. I'm still experimenting with it myself. I'm not sure where I stand on it yet. It's a really good idea, but I really don't have any trouble with this, so it may be a solution to a problem I don't have. But there you go. That's something to think about. What else can I tell you about here right now? I've got so many things to tell you guys about. I'm gonna try to do this, a lot more often. God, I say that every time. But again, I'm just gonna set the camera on the bench and just start talking to you guys. So I'll finish these guys up, throw some primer on them, see what they look like. None of them have their backpacks on except the radio dude, because I really do like to do the backpack separate on the sprue, and then paint the dudes and then glue them on last. It just makes everything a lot easier. There's a little touch up to be done on the backpacks after you cut them off the sprue, but that's a whole lot easier than painting around them and trying not to get the paint from the backpack on the dude or the dude on the backpack, whatever. So there you go. All right, guys, there you go. I'll get this online and try to make this a more regular thing again. Talk to y'all later. Have a good evening or day or whatever it is where you are, and keep on gaming.